Welcome to Ring of the Bell, brought to you by the ASX and Bell Direct. I'm Jessica Amir, market analyst with Bell Direct, and joining us today from the ASX is Senior Manager of Listings, James Posnet. James, thanks for having us here.
Great to be with you, Jess.
So today we're covering the IPO trends to watch this year, but just reflecting on 2020, three key themes: tech IPOs, commodities and healthcare, a big influx of IPOs in December. So perhaps this is a sign of things to come for this year.
Yeah, look, it was quite an incredible year, and those key sector themes of technology, healthcare and mining will continue to play out. We had 113 new listings last year, which was 23% up on 2019. So it's quite incredible. And as you point out, I mean, COVID did hit at the start of the year, which basically meant that all of the IPOs, or most of the IPOs, were shunted to the second half. So we had an extremely busy second half. Three quarters, in fact, of all of the listings came in the second half, which is quite unusual. Another really important part of last year was the secondary offerings. So we had $66 billion in capital raised, which is quite incredible, and the highest level it's been for over a decade. These were companies that were raising money to accelerate their growth initiatives, but also to shore up balance sheets during the crisis.
So plenty of opportunities for investors. And I guess looking at the best performers on the ASX so far this year, Afterpay and Zip, we saw them IPO several years back. What's also interesting is looking at the IPOs from last year, 2020, the two best performers in that space were also in tech. So this common theme of technology, I mean, you just can't really ignore it.
That's right. Yeah, look, I think there are some multi-year themes that have really sort of stood out for me. And two are technology listings and international listings. So as many of your investors will be well aware, the Aussie market has traditionally been quite overweight in old economy sectors like resources and financials, and a little bit underweight in terms of new economy sectors like technology, especially when you compare to US markets. So from a standpoint of the Aussie investor, you want to get that diversification if you can. And I think things have been changing over the past 5 years. So we've seen 100 tech IPOs in the past 5 years. We've seen 100 international listings in the past 5 years. And this is really important. So what does this mean? This means that you get more diversification, potentially through individual stocks, but also through ETFs, like those tracking the ASX All Technology Index. So I think as we go forward in the coming years, we're going to see those two themes of technology and international listings play out even more.
Nice, so we'll keep our eyes on those. But I just wanted to ask, because you're really at the helm of bringing companies to Australia to list here. So why would an overseas company want to list on the ASX?
Yeah, it's a good question. So when I'm pitching to companies overseas, they're often really surprised to hear that we have such a large pool of capital. So Australia has the world's fourth largest superannuation market at $3 trillion under management, which is quite amazing. And now, companies will look at a variety of different factors, of course, when looking where to list. So they'll look at things like liquidity, valuation, analyst coverage, and index inclusion. But to give you a sort of real life example, Sezzle, which is the buy now, pay later company from the US, listed in 2019. Now it chose ASX because Afterpay and Zip had been well received by the market, valuations were strong, and investors really understood the space.
And James, the question on investors' lips, what companies and type of companies can we expect on the ASX this year?
Yeah, look, I think there'll be a range of IPOs this year, but those key themes of technology, healthcare and mining will continue to play out. So, when we saw COVID hit, it really brought forward years of change in the way technology is used by businesses and consumers, and it also highlighted the technology sector for investors. So last year we had 19 technology listings, including Nuix, which was our biggest software company IPO ever on the market. We also had 7 e-commerce companies, including Adore Beauty and Booktopia. And I think that e-commerce theme will also continue to play out. There have been reports in the media that Airtasker and Graze Online may well be coming to market in future. We've also had some interesting listings in the fintech space. So for a couple of years now, non-bank lenders have been coming to market. So if you think of Liberty and Plenty last year, these are companies that are challenging the big banks, in effect, in their business model. And we'll see more of those this year as well. So on the healthcare side, we had a variety of healthcare companies last year that came to market. And we've already had a few biotechs even this year. I think we'll see more on the biotech space, but everything from biotech to healthcare services is in the pipeline on the healthcare side. And then finally, in mining, we had a real upward price trend last year in commodities. And that really led to a flurry of IPOs by junior mining explorers, and particularly with copper assets, gold and silver assets. Now, look, with prices remaining elevated, that means that mining projects become viable. And so we're definitely going to see more junior mining companies come to market this year as the resources sector continues to ramp up. And so overall, look, I think we're going to have a really busy year again in 2021. And so lots of IPOs to look out for.
So for investors, there's plenty of IPOs to watch in 2021. And secondly, I think that investors should also be looking at past IPOs because there could be future buying opportunities. James Posnet from the ASX, thank you so much for your time.
Great. Thank you, Jess.
For more information on upcoming IPOs or previous IPOs, head to the ASX Bell Direct's website or contact your advisor.